All right. When the Naval Postgraduate School filled its swimming pool with sand, there actually wasn't a swimming pool in Monterey left for me to swim in, so I quit and went to USC. And I started swimming at USC because USC has this great aquatic center. It's the Tangzu Aquatic Center, if that's the right pronunciation. It has two pools. One is Olympic size, 50 meters long, and it's 25 meters wide. And it's one for diving. And so this is the 50 meters long, 25-meter wide pool. And most of the time I would go swimming, it would be between the time of 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's the only time this pool was open for non-team members. And very rarely it would be open so you could actually do 50-meter swim, which actually I love. I'm faster if I do that. Otherwise, they would cut it up into a number of lanes. You could see the lane markers going the width of the pool so that you would have a lane where you could swim 25 meters and come back. This is still beautiful. Although what started to happen to me is my dermatologist started to tell me, get out of the sun because it's not good for your skin. Most of the time, the big pool was closed to us in the 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. period. And they put us into the diving pool. You can see the diving tower there, and I've never wanted to jump off of that. But often I would swim in this pool which is 25 meters long. I mean, the width is, and I think it's like 30 meters, something odd long, lengthwise. And to watch the divers do these amazing things in this pool is completely awesome. But I swam in this pool for quite some time, from probably 2005 until 2013. And in 2013, I moved from Venice Beach, which is going to be a topic of another video. I lived half a block from Gold's Gym in Venice, and I worked out with a trainer 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, and absolutely loved all of the people I got to meet at Gold's. And I moved downtown to be closer to commuting wise. Where I lived in the Pacific Electric building was an 11-minute commute to USC. And on a really bad travel day, it would be 15 minutes. I mean, a bad travel day is if I decided to leave USC and drive straight up Figueroa in front of LA Live, in front of the Staples Center. And there was a major hockey league playoff game going on. It would take me 15 minutes instead of 11 minutes to go home. But 5 blocks away was the Los Angeles Athletic Club, and I joined it on a really crazy day in 2015. And it was just like I needed to swim, and I needed to swim then. So I went over to the club, and it turns out for faculty and clergy, there was a half price. So I joined. This pool is quite historic. It grew up with its membership roster reading like a who's who of the city, like the Chandler family, the Duckweiler family, Doheny family, O'Melveny, and Slauson families were members of this pool. In fact, my sister was a member of this club and swam in this pool when she worked on the Los Angeles Times. During the golden age of Hollywood, stars of the silver screen were at the club. You had Mary Pickford, Rudolph Valentino, Douglas Fairbanks Jr., Harold Lloyd, and Johnny Weissmuller. Tarzan, he was an Olympic swimmer. If you go watch some of his old movies of him swimming, you'll see he doesn't have goggles. He swims completely crazily compared to how people swim now, and he was an Olympic swimmer. Charlie Chaplin lived at the Los Angeles Athletic Club during his formative years, and he cherished the privacy it afforded. And Jack London, William Randolph Hearst, and Eddie Rickenbacker were visitors to and guests to the Los Angeles Athletic Club. So I would swim in this pool every morning, 7:15 to 8 a.m., Monday through Friday. And weekends, if I was in town, not in Monterey or Carmel, I would swim at 8 a.m. to 8:45, usually 45, 50 minute swim. This is the same pool from the side, and you can kind of see their funny logo. The Los Angeles Athletic Club is devoted to the lifelong pursuit of health-giving amusements. And up on this pool's on the sixth floor, and up on the seventh floor is absolutely fabulous gym. And eighth floor, some more gym stuff, and they've got squash courts and yoga classes and everything. This is just a fantastic place to be a member of. This is a painting, a very old look at the athletic club, and I don't even know the artist. I should have put that on the slide. This is there's a kids pool next to this major pool. And there's also, for a long time, there was a thing called the Plunge Cafe. It's no longer there, but all these tables are there. This is a really good place to sit and talk to friends, and I use it in that fashion. When it opened, it was, their website, laac.com. When the athletic club opened, it had a swimming pool they called it the Plunge. And it was one of those, it was the idea of Henry Huntington, who decided that this club should have a pool when they were in the design phase. Notice Henry Huntington was part of the design of the LA Athletic Club. He also designed the Pacific Electric building where I lived. And there's a plaque there dedicated to our Olympic athletes, the Los Angeles Athletic Club. The seeds sown in the fields of Olympic strife shall bring forth the universal fruits of peace. Douglas MacArthur, which I find very interesting because my business agent in Tokyo for many, many years, his first job out of college was to work for General Douglas MacArthur. All right. So what I do in the pool, I swam in that pool 2,000 yards every day. And that pool is a 25-yard pool, which is because it's an older pool. Modern pools are 25 meters or 50 meters or some variant of that. And the athletic club always had these February swim contests, which is who could swim the most in the month of February. And 2020, and they call it the Great Lakes Swim because they wanted to see who could somebody swim the length of the Great Lakes, which of course is pretty impossible for all of us people because February in the Great Lakes is probably ice. You can probably skate on the Great Lakes, probably not swim. But what they do is they would have you turn in every day how far you swam. And you had to turn it in by the time the pool closed at the end of the day. And what you'll notice over on the right-hand side is the 2020 Great Lakes Swim Contest, which is February 2020. That's the month COVID was starting to happen. So there's a lot of people were not swimming at that time. And what you'll notice is I did 64.9 miles. I think it's something like, on the spreadsheet, you can see I did 4,571 laps. And there's something like 114,286 yards. And you'll see it says 20 miles. I did 64.9 miles. In 2019, I did 75.5 miles. I came in first place. Second place in 2020 did 36.4 miles. What you'll notice is there's a first and second place for each age group, 50 to 59, 60 to 69, 70 and up. And I was in the 60 to 69 age group at this time. And then they also did overall. I was the overall winner for this year. So basically, the person behind me did something like almost 40 miles.